Okay, here we go. I am live. All right, perfect. Okay. Okay, now. Oh, gotta move this. Howdy, Xavier. Good to see you in the chat. All right. Is today going to be the day that we have a proper stream today? I was hoping I could make... I was expecting yesterday's stream to be short, I will say, because I just wanted to test that it would work. But I was expecting to be that short because the damn dog just wouldn't cooperate. Oh, yay. All right. I didn't even consider the... Like, I completely forgot about the torches here. But they're very important. Very important little marker. How are we gonna... Ah! No! After all the time it took to get down here. All right, here we go. Okay, so we might review the Eternal City stuff in a little bit. Well, sorry, not Eternal City. I should clarify the Fallen Hawk stuff regarding the Eternal City. But because I do have a draft right now, but I might not, because depending on what we find here, I may be like, ah, no, I need to work on this draft a lot more. Like, I want something closer to final before I review something like this, especially when it's so short. So we'll see. We might have to save that for another stream. There we are. All right, going here. Oh, ooh. Oh, that completely changes. Yeah, that completely changes how everything looks, doesn't it? That changes the whole vibe, huh? There we go. I forgot what items are here. I'm gonna have to watch something on that. I don't think Nardi has a dock on Nokron yet. Maybe it's in her Shifra stuff, but I don't think so. Uh-huh. Ooh, I like this. Yeah, I like this one. Let's see. There we are. Now we'd have to go through the other angle. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I think that might be too similar to the other shot we have. Yeah, I think something like this is probably going to be the shot we want to grab. Not pausing. There we go. Of course. Of course. Ah, we're so close. We're so close to greatness, if not that little side area there. Ah, chat. We. All right. There we are. There we go. There we go. Getting shots of collapsed Nocron today? Well, I already have shots of this really, so it's more so wanting to get more shots of these. The main focus today will be the Fallen Hawks. We will be getting whatever we can out of those guys. Oh. I'm not sure if I want to mention the torches here or in Godwyn, you know? I think it might be in Godwyn. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it in Godwyn. Good old Prince of Death. Godwyn, my not beloved. Okay, how much loads in? I think this is basically everything. Oh. No. No, it isn't. No, that's funny. I can't do it that way, huh? There we go. There we are. There we go. When in doubt, you can blend in with the Mimic Veil. I'd rather not. I try not to add things that wouldn't be there in the intended shot, right? So I like to take away generally items because I find the item lights to generally just be distracting. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, right. I'm looking at a video game thing, right? Like I want you to focus on just the shot and try to get the image of whatever I'm trying to convey in there in mind, right? And I don't like the idea of just like, oh, you know, here's like this broken, here's the barrels that I broke before I took the shot, or here's the mimic illusion thing I added in order to make it so you don't see my character. Right? I try to keep it so that way it looks like how the area would look, whether it's with the enemies or without the enemies or what have you, right? Whatever like my goal is on what I want you to emphasize, right? I will do what needs to be done, but I try not to kind of put something that isn't there, right? The most I'm willing to bend is if it's like a light source or something like that. Then I'm like willing to be like, well, this is kind of just like, you know, a basic necessity so you can actually see whatever I'm trying to show you, right? Okay. All right. And now it begins. All right, now let's take this out. Let's take out our game speed stuff here. Sir. Sir, sir. Sir. Sir, sir. Apologies. Listen, I know you're too busy being hollow and crap like that, but like, oh, I need to mention the bloodied mouth. I need to mention the probable cannibalism. How could I forget the cannibalism? Yeah, just... Sir? 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 Sir, you have a bow and arrow. You got nice teeth, not gonna lie. Whatever you say, I am. Whatever you say, I am. There we go. It's all you can get when you're going to Party City on short notice to grab yourself the zombie mask, okay? Like, listen. Don't judge. We can't all just make it to the Halloween party all decked out in top-of-the-line cosplay. You know? That shit ain't cheap. There we go. Where is he pulling that out? Where is he pulling those out from? Where is the naked man finding his arrows? Chat, I'm scared. I'm scared of where those things have been. I think that's more terrifying than the ghost flame. No one told me these were secretly poison arrows. Ow. All right. There we go. There's too much fire here. There we go. Don't ask Chris, you don't want the answer to. Words to live by. Is that Trails OST playing in the background? Yeah, it's the website music that they're using, which I'm looking forward to second chapter. As soon as I finish first chapter. Let's see. There we go. This looks good. There we are. Perfect. Okay. There we are. So like that, I guess will work. There we go. All right. I got what I wanted. Some dew-kissed herba. Yeah, I could see this as being something they would want for a source of light. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. Hey, buddy. There we go. All right, so this is them doing their taunt. Oh, this is going to be a hard one. Like, how do you get a good angle on something like this, you know? I think that's fine, yeah. No, just a little. All right, that'll work. Oh, that's more important. Perfect. Let's just do a straight up shot. There we go. Might also be doing it for food, I suppose, but that's what they have each other for. I mean, if you're gonna use the bones, you gotta also be using the meat, you know? Also, shout out to the devs' inability to refrain from putting unnecessary Zerg references in each and every corner of these games. For sure. For sure. I mean, to be fair, are there any necessary references in any game? Ah! All right. Oh. Eh. All right. Anything special? I assume the Ash of War version does the same attacks, nothing else. Does the taunt thing actually do anything? Or is that purely for actual enemies? Like, is it something like, oh, if you have like a spirit summon, it'll distract the spirit summon? That's the only thing I can really think of. Like, it doesn't seem like it buffs at all. Definitely not seeing any Warcry like effects. Oh my god. Think it's just aggro? Gotcha. That seems to be what it does for this, for as an Ash of War, which is why I'm asking. You know, now that I think about it, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't see a lot of these spirit flowers in the rivers, do we? Like, I think this is perhaps, I don't know if it's because the Fallen Hawk are here, but I'm pretty sure this is like the first time we've seen like this many in the underground. Maybe there's more in Noxtella and I just don't recall. But it feels like this is just a Nokron thing. No, they're pretty common, I think. Okay, then maybe I just don't remember. Maybe I just don't remember them then. I have to take a mental note in the future whenever we're going through these areas and I see them. All right. I'm pretty sure I have a shot of this thing, but again, just in case I get something better. Maybe less just because the ancestral followers pick them. Again, if it's true that we see less of them, there could be factors like that at play, but again, I've never actually done a statistical count, so I don't know how much is like, oh, in this zone there's like 50% more than we would find them in, say, the zone down below Ashifra or something, or versus What is it? Night Sacred Ground? No, Hollowhone Grounds, and this is Night Sacred Ground. Already got all the stuff you gave us. Yeah, dude can literally just fire the arrows. He just shoots the bow. There you go. Do you think they're excavating for their missions or just looking for Erdtree roots like the nobles on the surface? I think it's probably like a little bit, oh, this is part of the mission we have to explore and stuff like that, find clues and stuff. But I think it's also partly just, you know, trying to get to survive. Plus, I get the feeling it's probably harder to kind of place everything in the context of their mission, because the idea definitely seems to be that they're hollows. So how much they're still, you know, following the exact letter. I guess you could say they might be getting lost in the sloss, you know? There's nothing else back here. Ah, damn. Not the direction I wanted you in. Okay. Get over here. There we go. Yeah, my face. All right, get over here. Get over here, asshole. Boop. Yeah. Hoist by my own petard. Loki, how do you feel about what has come to be known as the corporate slop bowl? Chipotle, Kava, Sweet Green, etc. Personally, your boy is all about them. You know, I'm the type of person that likes cooking all my own food. Like today I had McDonald's for the first time in God knows how long. Like, I'm someone who normally likes to go, you know, take some, you know, ingredients and throw them together into something I like, whether that's, you know, pasta or some sort of meat dish or what have you, right? So for me, I can't say that I'm necessarily enthused about corporate slop, but hey, you know, I too love to get myself, like, you know, the occasional pizza from Domino's or some crap, right? So I won't claim that I'm all like, you know, hoity-toity fine dining either. There we go. There we go. Okay. This one's a bit easier to work with. There we are. Yeah, I don't think I can get another good angle with the shield. I don't like it. Find another way the helmet you can check the head. I'm pretty sure I already got shots of their heads in the past. So we've already got that all determined. Oh, that's not. Him. My man, you make things so difficult. I guess this counts. All right. I think we've gotten what we can out of this guy. We tried. There's something deeply gratifying about a meal you make yourself. Yeah, for sure. I'll be honest. I think a lot of people, at least this is my feel. I feel like a lot of people kind of like, you know, they get intimidated by the idea of like, oh, I have to take the time to do that and all that stuff. Like, it's so much easier just to order out or get like some sort of like takeout or you know, like, or like, you know, what's the word, like, you know, like microwave food or something. But like I am truly of the opinion it doesn't really take that much time. And let's be honest, whatever you think that you could be doing that's doing so, like, you could probably do it while cooking, right? Like, if you're gonna just be scrolling through your phone or whatever, like, you can probably do that while, like, you know, waiting for the water to boil or something, right? Like, for me, I'm always working and stuff, so, like, especially now that I have this tablet with the keyboard and stuff, like, now now, chat, I'm no longer bound to my PC. I couldn't get the second monitor thing working, so that pisses me off still. But, like, you know, if I had to, you know, if I couldn't do that, I had to give that up for being able to just, like, email it to myself. It's like, okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. Like, it's a quick, easy email. There we go. Yeah, I think I can expand a little bit more on their downfall here with what we got. A little bit more on the suffering. I asked this before, but what do you think the significance of the holes in their heads is? Okay, so we know that they were one of the earlier prototypes for summoning and stuff, similar to the Zamor warrior. So it can be hard to delineate, like, what is like OG lore and what has to be recontextualized or possibly even just discarded in the context of the final game, right? That is always a concern, right? But if I were to hazard a guess, right? This is a good one. These things clearly look to me like scabs, right? They don't look like they're necessarily designed to be whole holes, right? They look a lot more like they're kind of like infested scabs, right? Like, you know, you picked at a scab, it's been revealed, and, you know, you let it get a little sickly, so it gets a little ill, you know, a little bit of that brownish, greenish look, you know, on the edges and things like that. Like this clearly looks like, you know, an injury that hasn't been properly treated, right? So my thought is that this is just an extension of them being slaves for torture, right? It's similar to how they kind of gave the Zamor like the chains on the hands or whatever, right? I think the similar idea was here, where these guys were always supposed to be kind of like your slaves, what have you, right? They were kind of like broken or whatever. And like the idea would be like, say, the helmets would be like, I don't know if welded on is the right word, but you know, essentially they would basically kind of like be stabbed into the head to some degree, and they would cause at least minor scabs. Like, I don't think it's like going through the brain or the skull or anything, but I think the idea was to basically kind of, you know, similar to how the gladiators clearly got whipped and you can see all the scars and stuff from them like getting hit by the flails or what have you. I think it's the same idea here. Are you saying that they got Hannibal Lecters? I mean, considering that they got the blood around their mouths, I would not be surprised if there were certain inspirations. Yeah, bolted. Bolted's probably the word, yeah. I don't know if you could do that with just medieval technology or whatever, right? I guess you can kind of hammer the bolts in, right? Like, let's bring him out here. Like I said, we may, I think I already have shots of this, but just in case I don't. Maybe it'll be a better shot. Go on, sir. Please, sir. Go on, throw your thing. There we go. The lion's weapons are bolted? Yeah, I guess that's true. I would have said more like kind of like nailed in, but like, yeah, I guess you consider that a bolt. They have 8 of those marks. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's definitely less than whatever they have here, if that's what you're wondering. Man, rusted ass helmet, huh? Yeah, it doesn't look like these helmets are attached in any way nefariously, especially considering they don't even seem to properly fit their heads. Yeah, you definitely see a lot of injuries on the lions and stuff from all the, you know, it reminds me of the giants in Dark Souls 3. Anyway, moving on. Oh, wait, let me not forget about you. Get wrecked, idiot. Right. Like I said, I've definitely taken shots at some of these guys before, but all right, moving on. Let's go to the aqueduct now. I think I also have a actually, you know what, before that, because I think I do have a shot of this, but just in case, let's get a shot of the camp where we get the shield. And let's then get shots of these platforms over here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I have all this, but you know what? It doesn't hurt. It's screenshots. It doesn't take that much space on my hard drive. Okay, there it is. Like, I remember you for sure. Trying to find the right amount. I think this will work. Yeah, this will work. Okay. There we are. They could have been agonizingly tight before they became hollows. That is true, but I just don't think the way that they're set up, it's intended to be the helmets then bolted on, right? Again, there's always other options. I mean, I'm sure there are other means of torture that could involve something like this. Like, I'm sure if we looked up torture that involves leaving gashes on the head all around uniformly, I'm sure something would come up. Like some ancient medieval torture device or something, right? Like, so it's not like, and even then we could always just say it's fantasy, right? I'm not too concerned about the method because I do think the general idea is just to kind of show them that these guys have basically, I mean, they had to, I mean, these are clearly soldiers that have at least some degree of military training and stuff like that, but they've been broken to some extent into obedience that they're still doing this mission to the point that they hollow. So, right, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some little bit of pain involved in that. Yeah, let's just go straight here. Oh, I forgot about the stupid camping merchant too. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, we got that done. Let's get a little closer. Make sure there's no flame here that I'm missing. Yeah, there's flame here. Okay. Let's retake this shot then. Let's retake this shot. Oh, we have this. Yeah, this looks good. I don't think it's fire giant related. I don't think these guys have anything to do with the fire giants. Yeah, I have my draft already up and stuff like that, but I'll probably be adding more to it with some of these details and stuff. Like, I definitely want to mention the lanterns. Again, not this specific lantern, but the lanterns we saw earlier at Nokron. I think that's something worth pointing out for some pieces. We have the digging and stuff here. Nah, don't like this. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't like how you float, my man. My dude. It looks so dumb. Whatever angle that fixes it looks stupid too. Why? Why would you do this to me? You dumbass. All right, we're doing it from here. There we are. Hi, are there wooden rafters like these anywhere else in this area? To my memory, I think this is the only place they're found in Shifra River. I don't think there's any up here to my memory. Yeah, and almost certain. Yeah, almost certain none here. And we didn't see any, obviously, when we're going that way, so yeah. Yeah, so these are, pretty sure these are exclusive to this area. Again, you can find them, of course, in mine places and stuff like that. It's the same assets for that, but obviously that's a little different. There we go. Oh. All right, we'll give you a little bit more time. Huh. Yeah, I'd rather have you in the foreground and the other guy in the background. So let's see if we can get you guys to line up with how your movements go. You're a little offset, so it could be a while before you guys sync up exactly what I want. It would have been cool if it was like, you know, the other one facing the other way. Okay, they pretty much lined up this way now, so let's see. Ah, we're so close. We're so close. One of the sad parts with not being able to freely manipulate enemies how I want. Oh? Okay, I think I got that shot earlier. I think that was the moneymaker, so. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to jump down here. Oh, back up we go. Alrighty now.
Hey, buddy. Hello, friend.
All right, got some options. Never really thought about this. And obviously, pretty sure I've got shots of this guy for sure with this, but why not? I do like how the guy puts out the fire here. He's like, no, no flame. Only music. All right. Also, yeah, I'm noticing the spirit flowers at least a few times while we're going through here. So yeah, they're not that uncommon in the underground in general. See? All right, so I think that's everything I want for my Fallen Hawk stuff down here. Let's go up. Yeah, I know. We've already gotten shots of the silver tiers and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about that. Already have shots, of course, of some of the destruction and damage over here. Aqueducts it is. All right, aqueducts it is. And then after that, the only thing I have to consider... God, I know whenever they put these things, there's something that the devs are trying to tell us, but man, for the life of me. It feels like I'm being taunted when I don't know yet. All right, yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure we have shots of this, but it wouldn't hurt to kind of just get a general look-see. What? Are you kidding me? There we go. Yeah, okay, we're good. Jelly SpongeBob is nearby. He's gonna catch all them jellyfish. Oh. Uh-huh. Yeah, good enough. Good enough for our purposes. All right, okay. That's enough. Anyone explain this one to me? Yeah, someone explain this one to me. These guys have a weird modifier set where they take almost no damage from the Crucible Knights at Bewitching Branched. That is funny. Next down 4. About what I expect. Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit wider There we go. Never seen the lighting. I've never noticed it either. If I did, I definitely forgot. So knowing my goldfish memory, it didn't register long enough for me to care. It's this room too. Like, what the hell? See, I thought it was just because we were transitioning to areas. So when I went here and I saw the lighting change, I was like, oh, okay. But now I'm like, no, it's literally just... It's literally just something about this room area here. It's changing up the lighting. Like, what the hell? Uh-huh. Okay, so, is that it for our fallen hawk bros? I'm pretty sure that's the only area we find them, you know, before night rain. Oh, am I forgetting anyone? Try to see if the same thing happens at normal speed. Ah, that's a good thing. Let's see. Let's see if maybe it's just some weird glitch. Still funny. Okay, yeah, everything is off except higher LODs, and obviously there's no LODs here. Yeah, no. Yep, changes lighting there. Yeah, so it has nothing to do with any of that. There we go. There we go. All right. Atmosphere. The atmosphere of these areas really are so strong, though. Yeah, I do like this. I do like the vibe they went for. It's not too different from like the normal Shifra River look, right? But it's different enough that you kind of feel the spook factor, you know? Especially when you like go in here and you get jump scared by like 5 of these guys. And I think you can even make it where you don't even go back here. These guys just turn around and come after you. So like you could definitely make it like a real horror show type thing. All right, so I think that covers everything today, chat. Like we got that, got down there. Got that. I'm pretty sure there's nothing really connected to these guys above ground. I think it's purely underground. The only thing that's really would be relevant is Halig Tree because of the arrow thing, potentially. I'll be honest, I'm kind of leaving that out because I'm not entirely sure if I'm supposed to connect it to the Fallen Hawk specifically or if it has something more to do with like Mikola and like spirits and like the Dream Lands and something. And I'm like, you know, getting ahead of myself by, you know, if I include if I try to factor those guys in. But I feel like by the point that they're they're like killing each other for lighting and stuff like that and using Spirit Flame for weapons, they're probably far gone. I'm not sure if anyone would even be recruiting them down here. Anyway, either way, I already have a shot of that too, so if something comes to mind, I'll have that to work with. Yeah, because they're in Nokron, but they're not in Noxtella. I don't think there are any items specific, right? I think it's just the fundamentalist stuff, right? And I already have shot of the destruction here, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah, nothing really. I'm thinking I'd want to include. I forgot. Did these guys drop Gravelstone? It slips my mind. Patches Chipotle has the inverted Tower Hawk shield. That's not that wouldn't be surprising either based on the area. No, yeah, that wouldn't be surprising. Actually, no, that wouldn't be surprising based on the fact that, yeah, it's just the fact, yeah, they connect you back to Langdell. Yeah, actually, yeah, that actually, yeah, Patches actually makes a lot of sense in that regard. Ooh. They do drop Gravelstones? Okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Actually adds more evidence to a point I'm making, though. Honestly, in analysis, I'd probably have to mention that after the fact. I don't think I'd want to include it. Them pounds. Boing, boing. Let's actually... Because I don't quite remember... if these guys... If I got a shot of these guys transforming. I feel like maybe I did, but like my memory... My goldfish memory. It is what it is. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. Oh, okay, sure. I guess I ran out of stamina. All right, so with these guys covered, perfect. Okay, I think that covers the last of it then. I think we've got all the data I want for the Company of the Fallen Hawks. There we go. Actually, now that I think about it, could we get the shield Patches has? Like, can we get a shot of that? Would be cool to have. Oh, whoops. Whoopsie. That was a waste. I don't remember Patches dying. Oh well. Duke's Herba can be used for glowstones and preserving boluses. Maybe some Hollow Hawks found the Lake of Rot in the past. I mean, it's possible. They've gotten around to all the cities, so it's possible they've been to Lake of Rot. But again, the problem with Duke's Herba is it's everywhere in that area. So assuming it's not just because, oh, it's a common item down there and they could do so, like... Glowstones might make sense. Where do we get the glowstone recipe? Is it from Kale or do we get it underground? Like, where's the cookbook for it? I'm pretty sure it's one of the Nomadic Warriors, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they're one of those guys. Yeah, I don't know if I fought Patches here or killed him or what have you on any of these characters, so... Uh-huh. Oh, I've been to Volcano Manor. Oh, okay, yeah, that's gonna mess things up. You have to open the chest again to make him appear. The thing is, I don't know if it's that chest or if it's the teleport chest. Because I don't remember how many. I don't remember what triggers he's on. Cookbook 2 from Kale? Okay, yeah. Because I was like, maybe if it's an underground thing, like they're associating specifically with that, and then you can make a case, but no, okay. Huh? Yeah, I have no idea if I've encountered... Yeah, I have no idea if I've encountered, no idea if I encountered Patches on all these guys or not. Let's check Samurai Boy. Oh, wait. Duh. Imagine someone who didn't have Torrent yet, but went to Murkwater Cave. That'd be such a funny... Like, I guess it would be one of those things if you decide you were going to go right, you saw the dragon, you were like, nope, 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 and then you went inside here. I guess you had Yura help you with the invader here, and then you went straight into Murkwater. Now, let's see. Gatefront, Stormhill, huh? No, yeah, let's just go straight to Murkwater. Oh, yep. Well, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is just fine. If I want to go back here, I will later. All right. Help me, Mr. ABC. You're my only hope. Yeah, I've not even done anything here with this, so I can 100. I'll be honest, I forgot you were up here, demi-humans. You kind of forgettable. Oh my god. We all know how this goes. Oh my god. I was trying to be faster. All right. All right. If I remember correctly, he doesn't even spawn in until, yeah, okay.
Well. Thought you'd just help yourself to a man's personal belongings, huh? You scheming little thief. The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin. All of it.
All right, now. Okay, there we go. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Him using the acid stuff is funny to me. Especially with that freaking duck face he has. Do you know he came from the cave up there? Yeah. He walks straight in from up there. All right. Oh. All right. All right, because I think we can include the Patches stuff here as a mention. Because I don't know if Patches will actually get his own thing ever. I just don't know if there's enough character for him. I feel like he might be the Andre of any Elden Ring theoretical book in the future. I feel like anything relevant to him might be mentioned in other articles, and there's not too much about him himself. But again, I could be wrong. I will admit, I haven't done a too deep a dive on Patches in this game. Maybe there's something worth mentioning outside of like Rykard or something. Oh, that was almost the perfect. There we go. Little trickster through and through. Yeah, I feel like if I do bring up Patches, I guess I can always talk about his basic character in the stuff about the Tarnished, like, because I still don't know how specific I'm getting with certain characters in there. So, like, yeah, if Patches, like, is too small for me to ever think of, like, doing, like, a separate, like, quote-unquote chapter just on him. I don't think I'd even give anything for the website for him, to be honest. But, like, if it does something to me, a thing where it just is too small for him, maybe I'll, like, throw it into Tarnish if there's anything worth mentioning outside of the relevant topic stuff. All right, I think that's everything I want with this guy, right? All right, we're out of there. Yeah, let's go back here. All right, and with that chat, I think we're done. I feel like I've covered everything I could possibly want, so now it's just a matter of taking all this additional information we have now and kind of you know, kind of just including, oh, there we go, kind of just including in the next draft. And then next time for sure we'll do a you know, audio review, listen in on what the next draft sounds like and see what I can fix up for the final draft. All right, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, the thing is, though, like, Patches has a little bit more character and stuff like that with him. But the problem is all that character in Elden Ring, I would argue maybe it's about the same, right? But something that really you can just kind of wrap or sum up in the stuff with Rykard and Tanith, because it, you know, factors straight into some of the things with Tanith. So I don't know how much of that be like, oh, no, I can cut this off and it'll work fine all on its own, right? I just don't know if it's just really worth it to like kind of like do an entire, like, am I even gonna get like say 2 pages out of patches? I just don't know. I just don't know. I find it interesting they don't really use these bell traps that often, you know? I don't know if there's more of these things somewhere, but there we are. There we go. No, general patch analysis. I do not do patches across games. Sorry guys, that's never happening. I don't care what recurring character it is, if it's like an Alfred or Albert. Like each character is their own character in their own game. I will not be doing anything like that. No. That's never gonna be a thing. So that's out. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers everything that I would want to get shots for now at least. Yeah, if something else comes up, I guess we could always come back and, you know, work on it next time. But yeah, Fallen Hawks there. Astrologers, I got the draft up for you guys. Working on adding some of the luck stuff or whatever, right? Like, thankfully, the Academy thing is pretty straightforward and relatively simple, so it's not that much to write up. It's mostly just kind of like stringing together and, you know, probably condensing some paragraphs and things or splitting things up if necessary. And then for the earlier stuff, the conifer stuff needs to be written out more, and I think the lake stuff, that one might get tricky. We'll see. We'll see how well I can handle covering some of the more general topography analysis. Be nice to see some of these traps again in Lingdell somewhere. Extra risk and reward compared to most enemies not being able to guard there. Yeah, I don't know if it's because they're supposed to be patches lore specific type of traps, right? I know that was definitely my impression when I went through Murkwater Cave or whatever, and then like, you know, patches showed up. I'm like, I should have known with the stupid bell traps. But Patches doesn't seem to be very, you know, keen on soldiers and stuff, so I'm not sure if he would be helping them out nearby even. I'd have to think about that one. And then, but like, yeah, just as a general rule, I would have loved to see the bell traps incorporated more. In general, I would have loved for them to lean into stealth options and things more. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, it exists, it's there, but I think outside of like the very early stages of Limgrave, they don't really take advantage of it to any significant degree, which is just a shame. You know, I know there's always metagaming, but at some point you realize it's just so much easier early on to just run through to certain areas than to ever try to stealth around stuff. Just never worth it. Anyway, so that's gonna be it for now, guys. Gonna go check on the dog right now, so see if the pupper's doing okay, but later, be safe.